Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Hello, everybody. Here we are on another Fun on a Bun live stream. And we got a lot of cool people with us today. We have ShootDaCheese.
I already went through this. I've been peer pressured into this. Hello.
Beat up ShootDaCheese. And then we have Signal of Darkness.
Welcome back, gentlemen.
And then the Chi to Dodge, also known as a Dotched Chi.
I'm the hair guy.
He's also special needs.
I'm not special needs. You're a lying bitch.
You're gonna need it when I'm fucking done poking
Why
around
would
your
you say
fucking
that?
brain.
Why would you say that?
Fuckhead.
Why? No.
Because I bullied you.
No. No, you didn't.
Goodness gracious. Now, God's light will shine upon this realm. As we begin looking on the loser squad. Who is the loser squad? There's the loser squad. I'm gonna stream for you guys in the Discord group real quick. So you can see what I'm doing.
Let's see.
Hey Dark, I'm sorry, but this guy dies.
Should not everyone?
The brawler gets shot between the eyes, and I made sure the last second before he died, he was thinking of his wives and children.
Is that like the up theme, and it shows a preview of his like family and whatnot.
Yeah.
At the absolute lack of mercy of Diorthos.
No, I think for the first frame I'll have it so it enters his head, and then one frame after it comes out the back. That might be a little better visually. What do you think?
That is a tiny ramp.
This ramp's pretty big. What are you talking about?
It's only wide enough to fit one person.
Yeah.
So you're just filing people to their doom.
Well, there's gonna be someone crawling out of the vent there, and he's gonna start smashing his fist into the concrete till they turn bloody and broken.
Someone should have just hopped the railing so they wouldn't have.
He did
more
hop the
collateral.
railing. This guy did. And he was barely.
It's not working.
He barely missed a shot by this motherfucker.
It's not really working out for him now, is it?
So what happened was when the micro missiles fired, he put up his sniper to use it as a shield to block against the shot. It sawed off the barrel. He was still able to use it, but obviously its functionality is kind of fucked. He tries to fire at the brawler, but he misses and just takes the head off the monitor. And then gets out from behind cover, shoots the Orthos Guardian, does nothing, and then he dies. Boom.
Dark Unit is asking if you can give us a release date.
Everyone keeps asking for that. You know what's gonna happen on the release date of Max 2? You're gonna wake up and realize you never had a home, a family, a job. You never went to school. You wake up and you realize you're in a puddle of mud in Afghanistan. That's my answer. The actual answer is probably next year. I'm gonna be getting a lot done this year. I should be up to the throne by December. I am starting classes in a week or two, though. My last class is before I get my degree. So progress will be slowed down a tad, because I also have my job. In addition to now taking courses. But it won't be like 2020 where I had like seconds to spare. I'll actually have enough time to work on it. Between my technical writing classes and all that. So all should be well.
Liam Poil questions, what other animation projects will include N51? Well, that is not a question for Jsoull, because this is his only animation project. There will be no more after this from him. But as for me, I do have plans for them after Subjugation is complete, which is now coming along now that we have reacquired our supporting artists and recruited a new one.
Someone who got shot in the mouth.
Someone who shoots people for fun.
Exactly. That's the kind of energy we need to have in America nowadays. Anyone who doesn't agree with getting shot, They don't know what they're talking. Oh, I'm gonna have to do the annoying thing right. Oh, God.
This is live. We're doing it live.
No, I gotta do the fucking stupid annoying thing. We gotta copy all the frames from a character, put it into a folder, and then put it on a different layer just because he moves positions. I hate doing that. It just bloats everything. It's like inflating a pool toy. I mean, but instead of that, you stick the hydraulic needle in your eye, and what was I talking about? Anyway.
Quite frankly, I don't think anyone else here knows.
Good. You don't deserve to know.
Painted Hen questions, how long did it take to make your part in the anniversary collab?
Like a day or two. I didn't spend too much time on it, but I spent time. I would have been working on Max 2 because I thought it was an important collab. I think I did an okay job, but the guy who came after me dropped the ball. What was supposed to happen is when I animated that platform going down, there's supposed to be a couple guys there with some unique melee weapons. One would have a chainsaw, and I wanted to give Hank his chainsaw, but Floppy Fins or whoever came after me decided to just make it tricky. Well, let's see why we couldn't have had both.
They are enmeshed with one another.
The bastards, the sly sons of bitches.
Mango Man questions, how does it feel to know that you have been streaming for 8 months?
I'm happy I've been able to keep a consistent schedule, and I haven't missed one yet. That makes me happy. I'm able to touch base with you guys, and I find that important. Oh God, I fucking hate doing this so much.
And a Squid has a question for all of us. What are our opinions on the fan remakes?
It depends. I've seen some good ones. The MC2 remake was really good. The MC5 remake was really good. The MC4 one, mixed bag, I think. Doc, I remember you had some mixed feelings.
I have mixed a lot of feelings.
What about you, Dachi and Cheese? What do you think of the remakes?
Personally, I haven't been so much very involved with the Bandits community, and I'm gonna be honest here. I'm kind of glad I left, but you know, I come back every now and then, and I saw some of those remakes, and they were pretty cool actually. I like how they implement factors from like the newer Madness stuff. Like I think the MC5 remake, it brought in like Doc with all the chains and all that crap going on, and you know, little things that connect between the episodes, like for example how they picked up Hank's body or something like that.
Yeah.
But you know, I think they're okay. They're not so bad overall. Actually, on the topic of remakes, I was actually working on an MC1 remake before like all these people started, but
So
you
they
know,
stole their ideas from you.
well, I wouldn't say that because my idea ultimately never came to fruition. And also, in addition, my remake, it wasn't gonna be like how these people did it, where you know they gave it like a whole overhaul, right? Mine was gonna be almost a shot-to-shot, almost like frame-to-frame type of thing going on, but with like better animation.
So it's a piece of garbage, and it's good that it never came out.
Well, no, not entirely, because like think about like watching MC1, right? But instead of it being animated like how it was way back in like when did it come out, 2001 or something?
Yeah.
Instead of that, it would have been like, you know, much more smoother, modern animation. You know, guys have 2 feet and all that stuff.
Well, I think someone else already did a remake, and then they did another one 3D, I recall.
I don't know.
I think that remakes on themselves are alright as long as they do something interesting with it, and it's not just remaking for the sake of remaking it. I'm worried about that MC6 remake I've been seeing, because they're animating it really slow.
MC6 was probably the most twitchiest installment in the franchise.
So you can't just have it be perfectly smooth and adequate. You need to make it so people feel like they're getting a seizure. You need to throw powdered glass in their eyes and stick them with a full needle of ether, and then they just start screaming and smashing the computer with their fists.
Yeah, I think the remakes are pretty alright.
Pretty alright. Do you have a particular favorite?
5. I
Well-
feel like there are. I feel like they'd be best if they did include all the big moments from their source material.
What's your least favorite remake then? And this goes for all of you.
I don't know. Freaking 4. Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
They're missing a few things from the original.
Goodness. How's that look for a recoil when he gets hit? Good bounce?
Red Hank questions, why did you create that robot sideboard thing? What was his name again? Amadon?
Can you give me this guy's home address? Zip code,
Red
phone
Hank,
number,
put your
anything I
old
can work
address in the
with.
chat.
What the hell do I even say to something like that? I mean, Jesus. Christ. You people. You fucking people!
Are you gonna answer the question for legit though?
It is.
Why did you create Abaddon?
Sideboard. Why did it create the sideboard? His name's Abaddon. Or Abaddon. I've heard it pronounced 2 different ways. He's named after the one from Christian mythology. He's my character, and he appears in the Max 2 finale.
I didn't know Christian mythology had sideboards. Sorry, sideboards.
Of course they do. The Bible's got some whack-ass shit. Get to those other 2 questions, Cheese.
From Rydevere on YouTube. Hey, Jsoull and gang. Good to be back on the stream. How has everything been going along?
Pretty alright. My life's been fucking busy as hell, though. But I've been making do not getting shot in the head. It's really hard to do that. Me and Darksignal just got done going through the city together, and we stabbed at least a dozen homeless people with their own needles.
Holding hands, skipping along.
Exactly.
Well, you can't be doing that because you have to be back to back when they're surrounding you from all sides.
And they start throwing the needles at you like darts, and they're really good at it. They can get on they can throw it into your eye even when you're walking. I know that from experience.
Well, that's why you gotta be dodgy, because homeless people have horrible lateral movement. Sleeping on a park bench, bad for their hips. They're not good at turning.
It's the best thing we can do. Goodness. Next.
Hold on a moment. From Milo, question. So basically, my friend and I are trying to get every MC animator to say X if balls itch. I think you already know what I'm going to ask you.
I'm gonna ask you to find a pop. You got like Drano under your kitchen sink? What you want you to do is pour out like about a pint of that, mix it half and half with some juice, and just drink it for me. Thanks. You save me some work.
Lemon Matrix Studios asks, will the Maximum Ninja characters be in Max 2? And in what way?
Maximum Ninja will appear as an actual character, not just as like a cartoon character in universe, like what happens with Zonic. So don't worry about that. He does show up. The villains, maybe, but Maximum Ninja himself definitely will appear. No worries about that. Steve the cock monkey.
We'll never know what happened to Steve. For all we know, he was already vanquished in the never to happen Maximum Ninja 4.
What? I think this might be another one of those kids that didn't get his vegetables growing up.
That was one of the Grimm's tales, right? Crucial questions. How often does Flash assault you on a daily basis?
It's non-stop. It's like sexual harassment on like a Japanese bullet train. It doesn't...
That's like a yes or no question.
It never stops. It just keeps happening. Forever. Like even right now it's shoving its hand up my ass and twisting.
We are keeping a personal log for every time there is a blackout crash. We're currently up to 48.
The blackout crashes happen from memory leaks, and they're very unpredictable. Like, everything's perfectly fine, then the screen turns black, everything I hover over turns black, and if I don't save everything and close fast enough, it hard locks the program, and I'm forced to go into the control panel and force end the process, which basically force crashes it, and that makes me lose all my work. Flash is very sure to do those to keep my fucking blood pressure up whenever I'm working. This movie's taken at least a decade off my life.
And that's 48 crashes this year.
This year, all my crashes together are at least 200 at this point, I'd say. I average at least 100 crashes a year since I've been working on the movie.
ISO Knight questions, are there variations of N51 troops appearing in the movie?
Yeah,
Well,
there's variants.
there's even going to be some homemade custom ones that were made specifically for the movie appearing as well.
Yes, there'll be some cool N51 guys. If you like N51, you like this movie, but you probably won't like the ending.
Well, no one is going to like the ending, I assure you.
Just so you guys know in advance, Crinkles, he's gonna really hate me when I'm done this movie. And I don't mean that as a joke, I'm serious. So if you like Madness, sorry.
Melissa Queen wonders what our favorite characters in Madness Combat are. I don't know who you're asking in particular.
Okay, who the fuck are you talking about? You got brain problems?
ATP engineers are pretty cool.
I like the Auditor, obviously. I mean, my fucking character's basically the Auditor in a robot suit. Just because I think he's cool.
Just hitching a ride in his brain.
A soft, squishy brain. I love soft, squishy things. There we go.
Mine probably isn't even in the main MC animated series anymore because Project Nexus has branched out the cast so much.
What's so funny, Dachi?
I'm just thinking about what Dark said about Project Nexus and Madness colliding into one whole universe.
Well,
I think you talked about this on a bunch of other streams on how it just doesn't make any sense.
I guess it could just be seen more as a Madness creation rather than a character in the universe, maybe. Oh yeah, Dark, since you're on top of that ball, has anything happened that would better make the universes more cohesive?
There have been some new developments with the release of the Magiturge update.
I mean, so we got straight up wizards in Madness Combat now. Why didn't any show up in the original series? I want to see them cast a shit spell, or turn fucking.
Because the MC animated series happens far in the future, well after the arena character has been expunged from history.
But does that mean there's still magic?
Doesn't rule out magic.
I promise, because now we have legit magic spells and wizards. And the HW wouldn't invest anything in that.
It may be presented as magic, but it still doesn't mean it has to be ruled out as a sufficiently advanced science.
I would just assume it's dissonance and they just found a way to color it. Or maybe it's just fucking Crinkles fucking around with the people who take it too seriously. I was like, oh, you think Madness Lore's serious? Well, how about this? Wizards, bitch. Could be like that.
Well, there's more to it depending on how much you want to go into what the arena character's origins are.
That could be for another day. Next question.
Yeah, no one wants to hear that around here. Next question being, opinions on our great and mighty Lord Phobos.
I think he's alright. His character design's cool, and Project Nexus too, from what I've seen. Your average God Emperor. I don't really have a very strong opinion of him. As for you guys?
I think he's cool. I like his voice.
They should have got Jack Black to voice him.
I don't know who that is.
How the fuck do
You
know?
don't know Jack Black? Kung Fu Panda? Hello?
No,
It's like saying
Come
you don't
on,
know
man.
Seth Rogen.
I don't. I can't put a name to a face for both of these.
So what I'm gonna do for you, Cheese, I'm gonna put like a ball of cast lead in your mouth, and I want you to suck on it until you can't, like your neurons don't work anymore.
I'm gonna glue my mouth shut, so good luck.
Okay, well, have fun living a horrific, miserable life.
I have a knife.
I'll stab you.
Considering how often you are assaulted by Flash, Prushel continues, what methods do you employ to cope with the pain? The pain.
Constant backups. I save it to multiple different dries and clouds. I almost lost a couple scenes completely due to Flash just CTDing, like crashing the desktop and then deleting the file. Like literally the file just deleted itself when I was in the middle of working. Like it'd be like if I was doing this and then the window shuts and the file's no longer there. That's happened twice. I'm not kidding. That happened with Maxification 1. And I lost the entire project and I reanimated it again when I was like nearly done. And that happened with a file in Max 2, but I don't remember which one. But I had a backup on the cloud, and I had that. If you use Flash and you don't make backups of your files, I think you should really consider your life choices. Some people are just not good at it. Next!
Red Hank wonders if the other employers know that the auditor is inside Abaddon's head.
Yeah, they probably know, but they probably don't think he can do anything in its current form, so they don't really give a shit. They're like, oh, that rascal. The other employers do show up in the movie, though, and they're gonna be fun people.
Especially the ones you didn't even know about.
Yeah, and they're not gonna be. I'm gonna bully another person in the community, but you can guess who? They're not just gonna be black flame guys with different eyes who all look the same and have no defining traits whatsoever and are really boring and don't do anything.
Except with Project Nexus, they aren't even just all flame people. They still have their own effects emanating.
Yeah,
off
Project
their
Nexus
form.
has more interesting employers than Realm, in my opinion. It needs more variety. Goodness. How about you guys?
I don't know. I finished Project Nexus in like 2 or 3 days, and I already forgot what it was all about.
You can't just say that.
What is happening to my computer?
It's removing your penis for saying such a bad word.
Yes,
Also-
a Project Nexus and my shadow play turned itself off.
Quick question to the stream. Can you guys hear the music okay, and is everyone's voices balanced correctly? Just want to check it. Next question.
Tonk is calling you out, asking, if Madness 11 took 10 years, what makes you think a 1-hour movie will be released in our lifetime?
Well, this movie isn't going to be an hour. It's going to be probably like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Feature length is like 45 minutes. I think it might reach there. I don't know. I'm not really trying to make it a specific length. I just kind of make scenes because I think they're cool, and I don't want to make scenes that are just made explicitly stretch the runtime as far as possible, just so I can brag about it.
So by that estimate, they'll be released in half your lifetime.
No. Okay. So I started working on it in like 2019. 2020, I wasn't able to work on it very much because I was in college in that hell situation where I literally had like. I was rationing the hours I had to eat and sleep. I would sleep like 6 hours, eat for 20 minutes, and then I'd have to like bike up the mountain for like an hour and a half. And I'd be staying on campus until like midnight. And then I'd come back to my apartment at about 1 or 2 in the morning and sleep until 7 or 6. My schedule was like that for about 5 months. So Yeah, I didn't get a lot done that year. But this year, I got done a lot. Last year, I got done a lot. I'm over halfway through right now. I'd say probably another year. I don't want to say like, oh, it's going to be coming out next Madness Day, because I don't want to disappoint people. Plus, I'm not confident in the fact that I'm going to be done polishing everything by then. When all the main animation's done, all the compositions are done, I'm going to be going through this movie like a fucking fine-tooth comb, ironing out every little bug and chink I can find. I just want to make sure it's perfect. Next.
Basically, the movie is it's coming out Madness Day, and if it isn't, just read this again for next Madness Day and the next one.
Do you want me to fucking attack you?
Starving questions. Do you think it would ever be possible to make a cohesive 1 hour long movie that doesn't feel like an absolute drag?
White Hank Zero is the longest collab I think that exists right now. Oh yeah, there's one dude called 0 Hour. He makes really long ones. Those work okay because there's like pauses where there's like some story scenes, but like as a Madness flick, it can drag. White Hank Zero is the worst though because it doesn't have any non-combat scenes. Like everything, like maybe there's a couple parts where it's like 5 or 6 seconds where nothing's happening. I don't mean like nothing's happening, but like, you know, like no action. But it's just like 45 minutes of just non-stop shooting, and the action's good throughout. It's great. But the thing is, when it's non-stop like that, you stop appreciating the action. It just kind of like, it just turns into a blur. Like if you watch John Wick, like imagine removing everything that wasn't a fight scene and just like fighting non-stop. It'd be a bad movie because it just doesn't pace itself right.
Madness, like every other Madness movie, just room-to-room killing.
Yeah, but the thing is, like with Madness movies, it works because they're like usually like no more than like 10 minutes, 15 minutes usually. Like 15 minutes is really long for a Madness movie.
Oh yeah.
Usually like 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, and that works because it's just really short and sweet. But when you're making it really fucking long, you got to know basic pacing. And a lot of people either do it too far one way or too far the other way. They do too far one way, which is like just action, no pause, and just turns into a blur like White Hank. That's why I think White Hank 2 is superior because it's shorter and sweeter. Or you go too far with the pauses and you just try to stretch out the runtime as much as possible, which is what happens in Rome, and you got like the fucking like 10-minute sequence of people talking in circles and seeing things very, very, very slowly happen. You don't want to do either of those. Both of them are bad options. If you want to make really long Madness movies, you just got to know how to pace it. That's why I don't want to make Max 2 very long. I want to make it just right. Is that clear?
Red Hank is wondering who's the main villain of this movie.
I'll leave that for you to see when it comes out. There's a lot of fun stuff though. Nexus Core aren't very nice, but they're also not the worst. People who live in the city live an okay life, as long as you don't disobey Nexus Core priorities. If you're an OC, it's pretty damn sick, because you basically get celebrity status. So Dark, can I have it take a chunk of his like upper shoulder here?
Let me see.
Bullet will go through here and land here. It'll blast out this chunk.
Might as well.
Alright. Goodness. Next question.
Ridivier asks if you create your sprites in an alternative program or if it's done straight through Flash.
It's done straight through Flash. I do have Toon Boom, but I've been using it very limited extent so far. But I'm gonna have to use it completely later because Flash just can't handle what I'm trying to do. Already it's very fickle, just trying to make it do basic things. one sec. There we go.
From the same source, they also ask if there are any tips to improve and increase animation workflow.
Oh, fuck. I mean, you have to pace yourself appropriately to where you're not feeling like you're burned out. And that's definitely a part of it. You need to make sure that you feel satisfied with your work so you don't feel like it's a fucking drag and you just don't get any more motivation to work on it. There's a shit ton of people that have been working on great solo projects, but then they never end up fucking finishing them because they're like, oh man, it sucks, and then they just kill themselves. Try not to do that. Yeah, that's my advice. Don't kill yourself.
Necromancer wonders, what's the biggest amount of frames you have animated in one day?
I don't count frames. I just judge my progress by like how far into a scene I get. I don't really have an answer for that.
Well, I have an answer for this next question by Tonk. How expensive would it be to maintain the sheer amount of equipment and technology Nexus Core and N51 use? And the answer to that is, considering how big the Megaplex is in scale, that is going to be well over trillions.
I mean, Megaplex is like if you took like 15 Burj Khalifas and put them together.
At the same time, Nevada doesn't really use currency, at least as far as Project Nexus goes. Sure, you have it in Nevada Central because they have a centralized government, but Nexus City doesn't really do that. Especially considering how primitive everything was back then.
Let me run this out, see how it looks. Yeah, I mean there is currency max too that's used by like the civilian population, but there's nothing that's used like currency for transactions between like cities or anything.
It's really only just so the civilians feel like they have any value to themselves.
Yeah, just to give them an incentive to keep working. How's that for a reason, you loser? Next question.
Let's see. This next question is from me by Moss Creepy Boy. Is there any plans to release the Project Nexus dossier to the Steam forums? And will it make it so you can resize and minimize the character creator? Well, first off, we need to have Steam forums. We need to get that workshop up and running. But we keep hitting stone walls and making that a reality.
Sweet.
Well, him too. He's already explained to me what's holding him back, and that's more of Unity's fault, I would say.
Unity schmoodity.
The gold standard for the dossier would be to not for it to be its own program, but just built into the game itself. Have it so that you can just modify and create characters on the fly using a custom menu. There are already plans to have it so that the sandbox mod currently for Project Nexus allows you to basically revamps the character selection screen so you're able to preview them before you select them.
I see how it
Be a
is.
lot less clunkier than what we have now, but Playground has been on the back burner as far as NPM development goes. So this is going to be something we'll have to do.
Fuckers. How do you like the recoil there? How it like kind of shakes? And the recoil is so strong it kind of gets an unstable grip on it.
That hand is awfully close to him.
Die.
Just put like a crack in his lens because he hit himself with the slide.
I mean, yeah, the fucking kickback on this is like a mule. He's firing the equivalent of like fucking 50 AE out of this thing, but with 3 times the powder. Let's double check some real quick. Okay, it's okay after the first firing frame. Alright. Next question.
It seems that this next question has tried to be asked twice, and it concerns the ending. Red Dead ITA wonders if the ending is going to be like that movie from that pixel artist who did Scott Pilgrim, that felt really try-hardy, or it's something else we won't like.
Try Hardy? I never read Scott Pilgrim. I don't know what he's talking about.
And I never saw it in the movie, so.
I mean, it'll be really cool what happens. It's not going to just be like me filming myself shoving a CD up my ass. That happens
I mean,
later.
that's going to be its own separate thing once you burn Flash to ash.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be me, like, pouring lighter fluid on top of it, lighting on fire, pissing it, and then throwing in the garbage or burying it somewhere. The ending has a lot of cool stuff that happens. It's not going to just be like a cop-out where it's like, oh, I'm trying to be subversive by having something unexpected happen. That ends up just being boring. That's one thing I've noticed. Doesn't just go for madness, but people think like you're doing good writing when you do something the audience doesn't expect. But a lot of the time, this is taking something that's expected away and replacing it with nothing, and then treating that like it's special when you're just, not doing anything interesting. Don't pull a Last Jedi. And then
Somehow, Palpatine was back.
somehow. Literally, that's how they describe it. Somehow. Can you
Wasn't
imagine
that
that?
the
Imagine that.
actual
Okay.
line, like, somehow Palpatine came back?
Can you imagine that happening in like any other film franchise? Like imagine watching John Wick. And it's like somehow the Russian mob boss is back.
Dude, that's like JoJo levels of ass pulling, alright?
I was freaking watching videos last night off of that phrase. Somehow Palpatine has returned.
Yeah, it's called Well, no, that happened because Disney decided it was a good idea not to have a plan for their trilogy. And so J.J. Abrams was supposed to do, like, the first movie. And he set a bunch of things up. And then Rian Johnson comes in, he's like, yeah, I don't like any of this. And he intentionally spends, like, half the movie just dismantling everything that happens in the first. Not doing it for the betterment of making a good Star Wars movie, but just doing it to surprise you. And then the third movie, they bring J.J. back, and now he has to work with a previous film that literally went out of its way to just destroy everything he already set up. So he had to set everything else back up a second time. And that's why we got, oh, well, somehow Palpatine returned. If JJ did it from the start, I still don't think the sequel trilogy would have been very good, mind you, given the fact that he brought back Palpatine at all. But at the very least, there would have been, like, build-up in it in, like, probably the second movie. Instead of literally being pulled down an opening crawl.
Third movie feels ridiculous. It just keeps flipping around to different places.
Because
with
it's
rhyme or
cause
reason.
I can guarantee you that the reason it feels so wacky with the pace is because JJ's trying to cram in everything he was going to do for the second movie into this one too.
But he couldn't because the Rebel Alliance was escaping the entire movie.
Yeah, and well that was fucking Rian Johnson's idea. I don't know why the hell you'd make a trilogy and have it be run by people who are entirely antithetical towards each other. Like, they just don't want to work with each other. The original Star Wars had a couple different directors for its original trilogy, but that worked okay because they synergized. Like, you get two people together who just don't like each other. And look what happens. It ended up being a fucking wreck. There was a time where people would shit their pants about there being a new Star Wars movie, and now it's like, oh yeah, whatever. You know? How's the recoil on that?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's gonna break his face with that kind of recoil.
I mean, it's a hand cannon. It'll blow your ass
but he-
all the way back
yeah,
to
but he's-
Jersey.
He's breaking his own nose.
I mean, he's got that face mask. It's able to bounce bullets. I'm pretty sure it can take a slide. Look, ready? The bullets go tink tink. Ready? Tink. Tink.
Mr. Sandeater has a question. He's asking, he knows that Max 2 is mostly focused on serious and high gravity moments, but are there going to be some type of humor in it? And I would imagine, yes, there is going to be some levity in between all the chaos.
Well, yeah, you've seen one moment like that already with, or two moments. One where Seth gets turned into a hamburger, gets eaten by Omena. And then the other scene where the innocent civilians get shot for fun by ammo. Although that doesn't sound very funny on its own. If you've seen the scene, you know what I'm talking about. Come on, man. You don't shoot innocent, unarmed people. And then he shoots innocent unarmed people.
Even faster than before because somebody thought they could tell him no.
You don't tell ammo no.
Speaking of ammo, another question is asked on how much people get paid to work for ammo.
You don't get paid and you don't get hired. Everyone at ammo's been made. They're basically like the AHW, but even more crazy cyber culty. Get the AHW, bring down the numbers to like 100 people, and turn up their craziness to as high as it could possibly go without them ice picking their own eyeballs. They don't need to get paid. They're doing it because they love it. I mean, that's like saying like N51 gets paid, like a salary. It doesn't really
Again,
make it.
money isn't really a thing that's universal in Nevada.
Because what the fuck are you gonna do with money in Nevada? There's nowhere to spend it.
Exactly. So it's not really. It only works for established cities or settlements. Only one of which we know of actually uses money.
The butt cheeks.
Next wonder is what are those Nexus guys on screen right now?
Those are actually Diorthos soldiers. These are from a different faction that Nexus Core subjugated, or more like it's more like they had a sort of semi-truce where it was like, okay, we won't completely steamroll and fill your guys' underground city with molten lead if you give us some of your best shit and give us a tribute of your soldiers. And that's basically what happened here. Diorthos are functionally Nexus Core Special Operations Division. They're also Phobos' right hand for anyone who wants to disappear. They got the best of the best tech and the best of the best training. They're very cool guys. They're LK's faction.
LK gross.
LK gross.
You want to see a magic trick? Presto, these guys are gone.
LK should be in the next live stream, from what I recall. Let's see if we can get him in. I was gonna have him here, but I already promised like 5 other people that they're gonna be on. Which are all you guys. Including Zapchon if he actually shows up. Or you know what? I'm gonna ask LK right now.
The answer about Diorthos also segues into Lucan Drake's question. What is that symbol of a red upside down triangle with a red dot inside? Does it represent Nexus Core? No, it represents Diorthos.
Yeah, that's their logo. I mean, what kind of question is that? You already see the Nexus Core logo in the movie, and you see this is completely different. It's like, huh, it must be the same thing.
No, I just noticed the logo. It looks very similar to the Abstergo logo.
The who-where?
The Abstergo logo.
I don't know who the hell that is.
From Assassin's Creed. Come on, man.
I never played Assassin's Creed. Okay, I played like one of them, but I remember getting stuck at the tutorial. First of all, because I was using
Which
like
one?
it was one of the ones that take place in Italy.
That's Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood.
Because I remember with the keyboard, it's really fucking hard. I don't know what the hell was it back then, but like I was on a keyboard trying to do the tutorial mission where it makes you do a very specific set of actions with extreme accuracy, and doing that on a shitty old keyboard running at 20 FPS, 15 FPS was like impossible because you also need like perfect timing. I don't
think it's the keyboard's fault. Because I've played Assassin's Creed on a keyboard.
I hated it.
The controls are weird, like for the older ACs. But, you know, eventually you warm up to it and it makes sense.
Maybe I also sucked because I was like 10 when I played it.
I mean, yeah, maybe you did suck. I mean, I finished AC Revelations when I was like 6.
Ew.
The only AC I didn't finish when I was like small back then was AC1. Because I kept replaying like the same memory sequence, like after like Altair gets stabbed in the gut. Because I didn't know how to proceed. Because, you know, back then, as a kid, you're like, okay, you know, just hit things and go. You don't really, like, especially because I'm not from the US, you know, I didn't really just read whatever it said there. I just played.
I remember I got stuck playing freaking Lego Indiana Jones. Because I couldn't figure out a puzzle.
The Jones of Indiana.
That's a good game. I have it on my 360.
I want to play it again.
Yeah, it's some wacky stuff, let me tell you.
Alveg asks, is Max 2 going to start explaining what happened after MC10 for new viewers?
I'm gonna be revamping the commencement introduction sequence to have more visual storytelling that'll give you up to speed about where this takes place and how long it's been. You already get a good taste of that with the opening shot where you have like the tree just completely decayed and withered away with the cannon and the boombox sunken into the earth over like years and years of just neglect. But there's gonna be more shots like that. I'm gonna revamp the opening sequence to be way more extravagant. And not in a way where it's like, and not in a way where it's like 30 minutes and I stretch out every shot as long as possible just to get the runtime. I mean, like, I want each shot to have something really cool in it, to be like, oh, that's fucking awesome. You know, I don't want it to just be like, oh, I can't wait for my landscape shots, but I don't have to animate anything. As you're saying,
We
Dark?
apologize for your ears.
As you're saying, Darksignal?
Prushel asks, if the Orthos was a subjugated faction, then are there any others that Nexus Core has subjugated or assimilated? And if so, how many are there?
Well, they assimilated the mercs, and they turned them into the meat workers you saw in the meat sector. That'll be more obvious later as I add in like more like guys in the background. Meat sector is like where they process all the dead bodies into food. I think I showed off most of the sector on the stream last time. Or like, it was like one of the earlier streams, I think. Basically, they disarmed the mercs, gave all the high-ranking leaders much of cushy management positions, just made everyone else just pure labor force. And they just turned mercs into a bunch of factory workers. So that's a big bundle of fun, isn't it, Dark? Some people listen like, no, you can't just do that, it's my favorite faction. Then they start like clawing at their head.
Yeah, well, Merc had greater aspirations than what they have been reduced to.
Well, they have a good reason for why they've been reduced to what they have.
That's pretty far-reaching, though.
Well,
Merc were the pioneers in manufacturing for Nevada.
They've had 100 years to be turned into just factory workers. I think that's more than enough time. Next question. There's also some very strange, silly questions, like the one I posted. I want you guys to look at.
Would it help if Project Nexus was ported to a different engine like the Source engine? Lemon Matrix Studios asks. And the answer is no, it wouldn't.
Source
engine is like going back to Atari.
Source engine is an abomination against God. You think it's cool because Gary's mod uses it?
We don't talk about Source, alright? It's great, but we don't talk about Source.
It would be hell. Okay, first of all, porting like a Unity game to Source 1 isn't going to happen. Source 2 has Unity compatibility, but they're never going to release Source 2. It's not going to happen. Look at it like this. If Source 2 was done, why the hell can't anyone access it?
Listen, I've had really very minor experience like trying to work with like modding Source 1. I tried to make like a small view model animation or something like that, right? And just to do that, you have to take apart like 2 or 3 files and like compile and recompile it like 4 or 5 times or some shit like that, just so you can see it in game. It's actually ridiculous. It's painful to do that. And you know, on top of that, you know, Source is like its own like Frankenstein type of thing, all right? Because you know, for example, let's look at Source 2, right? Everyone thinks it's like, oh shit, it's this cool stuff, but in reality, Source 2 is just Source 1 with a new coat of paint over it. It's built on Source 1, and Source 1 is built on Gold Source, and Gold Source is built on Quake. There's Quake code in Half-Life Alyx.
Some call it the Tower of Duct Tape. No, honestly though, like Source 2, if it came out back in 2015 like it was supposed to, it would have been amazing. But
what
here's
do you
the
mean
thing.
It did? It's on Dota's on Source 2.
Nothing fucking changed visually. All they did was call it Source 2. There's nothing different. What? Like, how the hell is putting it into a fucking showing off the power of the engine? We have, okay, Half-Life Alyx comes out. Great. You know what? It would have looked really impressive maybe a decade ago. Now, it looks okay for a VR game. But as like an actual game engine, what does Source 2 have that you can't get from?
There's no like Source 2 SDK.
There is none.
Shit.
Here's
it's just built for Alyx.
Exactly. They only ever worked on the engine explicitly for their experiments. They never got done the work to actually make it work cohesively, so you can actually make people like. That's the reason you can't do anything with it. That's the reason it isn't out there. Okay, if Source 2 was amazing and it was perfect in every possible way and it was finished, why the flying fuck would Valve not hand that to people to make? Look at Unity. Look at Unreal. You can get those for free right now. They want you to make games with it. Valve does not want anybody looking behind the curtain and realizing, guys, where's the engine? Hello? Knock, knock? Guys? And then Gaben gets a heart attack and dies. The reason is because they only worked on the engine explicitly to make experiences, but like Half-Life Alyx only just works.
They worked to make like a VR experience, but then they made it like they made it a very good VR experience if you were playing VR like 5-7 years ago.
Oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this little rant. So I was a huge VR enthusiast. I got the Dev Kit 1 back in like 2011 or 2012, and the Dev Kit 2 like a year or so later. And I had a more engaging experience playing Half-Life 2 with the Dev Kit 2 than I ever did playing Half-Life Alyx with the Index. You might say that, and you might hear them be like, Jsoull, what the flying shit are you fucking talking about, you retard? Here's the thing.
Yeah, we talked about this last night.
Yeah, well, I'm explaining it for these people. Issue is, when I'm playing Half-Life 2 with the Dev Kit 2, I'm able to lean around corners, I'm able to fucking, scoot around the vent, your head is detached from your arms, and it's really janky, but it can be really engaging. My best memory is when I was in the airboat section in a Water Hazard, riding down the canal with a fucking hunter chopper flying around, and while I'm like driving forward, I'm looking around left and right, because you can separate your head from your hands. You can actually like lean back and like look behind you to see what's going on. So I'm like looking behind the airboat, like, where the fuck's this thing coming from? And it swooshes overhead and just unleashes a hailstorm of bullets that start ricocheting, zooming past my head, bouncing off the metal frame of the airboat. And that was such a sick ass moment. There's nothing like that in Half-Life Alyx because it does not engage you with gameplay. Like, it feels fun to do things, but there's nothing that feels like you're in danger. There's nothing exciting happening. The enemies are brain dead. The Combine in that game are functionally lobotomized. You walk around a corner, they forget you're there. You throw a grenade, they do a silly animation where they run in place like you're in a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon. And that's cute for the first time until you realize that's the only thing they do. Why wouldn't they kick the grenades back, pick them up and roll them back towards you, stick the pin back in, anything? Why the hell, with these grenades that have like a 15-minute countdown, they not do anything about it? Because the AI was made for teleport only. Half-Life Alyx was going to be teleport only, like a month or two before release. And then Valve stole everything from Boneworks and turned it into smooth locomotion.
Yeah, but the problem with the smooth locomotion is that it makes the fact that Half-Life Alyx was supposed to be teleport even more glaring, because you're just walking through the map, right, and suddenly you hit like a small curb and you pop up and then you pop back down.
Yeah, it was added very, very late back. Can you imagine Half-Life Alyx coming out? What's supposed to be like the most powerful VR game of all time? It's teleport only.
Listen, it's like, you know how for a brief bit everyone's like, oh yeah, they got like a new physics engine, right? It's not like Havoc, it's Rubicon or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So, you can put bottles in crates and they don't go crazy, right?
Uh-huh.
They don't go crazy if you're teleporting, but if you're like smooth locomotion, moving and rotating, those bottles have a tendency to break and clip out of that fucking crate. And like the amount of times it just gets ridiculous is awful. Or like something. Oh, my experience is that I insisted on playing with smooth locomotion because it's fucking smooth locomotion. I want to be immersed. What I hate the most is that because I don't have a lot of place I don't have a lot of area to play VR. I move more in the virtual world than I do in the real world. But there are times in Alex where, especially with smooth locomotion, you have to move yourself possibly out of your boundaries to reach certain things, because what smooth locomotion does is that if you're too close to a wall, it teleports you back, even if you need to be close to that wall.
My God.
It's
Yeah. So that
as a
was
game, it's just very simple. Like it's not that much better than a rail shooter, to be honest.
it was originally gonna be like a fucking rail shooter.
It looks nice. The gameplay loop is, it's all right. You could.
The issue
You
is
can-
it's baby's first VR game, and
Yeah.
the dev kit, like jerry rigging a dev kit 2 to play Half-Life 2 was much more engaging. I also really have to question the fact that when the Vive and Index came out, it's way harder to set up a VR headset for those games than it was for the Oculus Rift back in 2012. All you had to do back then was put in a single like command line into the launcher, and then you're good to go.
And they broke that feature too.
Yeah, they broke it now. You
You
can't even do
can't-
that anymore.
You can't do that. I actually wanted to open Half-Life 2 and play that with my Oculus headset, but I believe you can. It either just straight up doesn't work anymore, or you can only do it with a development kit.
It's fucking bullshit. Ain't it?
Oh, sorry guys, I meant Meta Quest. I don't even have a Quest.
Oh yeah, apparently Valve's coming out with a new piece of hardware to compete with the Quest. But it's gonna fail miserably, and I'm saying that right now, because they sell all of their hardware at cost, instead of selling them at a loss to build a user base. I want people to look back on... I'm sorry this question's going on for so long, but me and Dachi are really passionate about this.
We are too passionate about this.
Yeah, here's the thing with Valve. Look at their history of hardware releases. Look what happened to Steam machines. Look what happened to the Index. Look what happened to the Vive. Look what happened to the Steam controllers. Look what happened to Steam OS. You get a year of good stuff, and then they drop it like a skunk. The Index, they're not making anything for the Index anymore. And that's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
guys, remember Steam OS? That's the entire reason you end up accidentally clicking that weird button on your Steam app and
Yeah,
accidentally going into big
when-
picture mode
when
and being
no one-
stuck in there for 15 minutes.
What no one likes to do because they get stuck in the very long intro
Fucking God, I
sequence.
know about
Yeah,
It
I
has a
hate it.
long intro sequence, and the exit to get out of the entire big picture mode is hidden away beneath 5 buttons.
Yeah, I call that bad design.
Get out! You won't let me leave!
Yeah, so what's gonna
It
happen
doesn't.
is the Steam Deck, it's a good piece of hardware that's gonna be fucking insanely expensive. It's gonna be good, but then Valve's not gonna do anything with it. It's gonna be out for a year or two, and then nothing's gonna happen. Same thing happened with the Index. You make people pay $1,000 for the Vive. I paid $1,000 for the Vive, and then I felt like I got a slap in the face when a year or two later they come out with the Index and want me to pay another $1,000 for a headset. And the thing is with these VR headsets is once you get one that's better, there's no reason to use the old one. So you basically just burned $1,000 because you didn't know ahead of time there's gonna be a better one coming out next year. So when I bought a Vive and then a year or two later the fucking Index comes out, I'm like, okay, fuck you too, Valve. Fuck you.
Now you have a headset that doesn't stick to your face and you have to hold up every time you look down.
Oh god. Yeah, and it's a very bizarre situation. So they're making a new headset to try to compete with the Quest, from what I'm aware of, but it's gonna be the same fucking thing. It's gonna be at least $1,500. So you paid $1,000 for the Vive, $1,000 for the Index, and now you want to pay another $1,500 for this fucking thing. Anyone that you have to be a die-hard enthusiast to spend that much money. Because again, if it's better gear, why would you ever use the old stuff unless it's broken? Anyone who bought a Vive and then bought an Index, they're not using their Vive anymore. Anyone who's going to buy this new piece of kit, they're not going to use their Indexes or their Vives. And who the fuck's going to be spending $1,000 after making another $1,000 purchase just to make another $1,500 purchase? Who? There's not going to be a base for it. Again, like Facebook has such a big share right now because they're selling the quests at a loss, and they're actually handing money to developers to make games for the quest. Valve isn't doing that. They think just by releasing a good piece of hardware, that's all they need to do. Look what happened to the Boneworks team. Boneworks was originally going to be a Half-Life VR game. You can see it, like, even like the really early development shit, there are always head crabs. The idea was like they're going to make this vertical slice like VR demo of a game, and then they're going to go to Valve to get permission to make it into a Half-Life game, and what ended up happening is Valve shat their pants. Because this group of guys in a fucking garage monkeying around with a bunch of wires made a more intuitive and engaging VR experience than Valve could in a decade with infinite money. So what ended up happening is, Valve's like, okay, so we're not going to give you permission to make a Half-Life game, we're going to take all your ideas, and bye. And that was it. And now, the Boneworks devs, which are called like Ground Level Zero, I think, they got bought by Facebook, and now they're making another Boneworks game. And it's like, man, Valve, I really wonder why they went with Facebook, Valve. Maybe because Facebook gave them money to make more VR games? Why didn't you do that, Valve? Oh, because you burned them really, really badly. And then they got handed $1 million paycheck. And Valve's probably sitting there all thinking, man, what evil bastards. How could they not care about keeping the VR market open and free while just completely ignorant to the fact that they've dug their own grave? The VR market is going to turn into a dystopian hellscape because Valve doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
You know, the worst part of all of this is that Valve knows that they don't have to fucking try. Like, you know, that's why they just drop support for everything after like a year, because they can just immediately... They don't need to care on maintaining.
They get bored of it, they get bored of it, and then they never use it again. You get bored and then they never use it again because they don't need to fucking care about it. They don't need to commit to the audience. Can you imagine that happened like the 360? When you bought the Xbox 360 and then after like a year no more games are made for it. No more support after a year. Could you imagine that? And now, like another quick anecdote, the 360s were sold at a loss. Most consoles are sold at a loss, but they make it back through game purchases and consumer retention. That's why the 360 had a fucking shelf life of nearly a decade. That's why people were still making games for it way after fucking Xbox One came out. Can you say
Wasn't that the same case for any console ever?
Yes.
That's why the PS2 lasted so long, because it's impressive third-party support.
Exactly. And then look at Valve's hardware. What the fuck's going on? No one's doing anything because everyone's getting bought up by fucking Facebook because Facebook's supporting the developers to make the games and Valve's not doing anything. Valve just thinks if they have the hardware, everything's gonna magically perfectly work out with fairy tales, rainbows, and cupcakes, and everything's gonna be fair and free. And they don't realize these devs and these like groups of teenagers working in garages to make these fucking VR experiences, they need money to fucking like eat food and get water, and Valve just doesn't do anything about it. And then Facebook hands them $1 billion, and then Valve's like, I wonder why that's happening. That's the VR market right now, and Facebook's gonna win objectively because Valve doesn't know what the hell they're doing. It's a very bizarre situation. Sorry that went on for so long. I'm very passionate. I'll say that. I was a huge VR enthusiast, huge Valve enthusiast, but the spell's been broken over me now. I'm just really bitter.
Now that we have broken the spell, let's move on to some questions.
Let's move on to the questions we all missed.
Yeah,
Let's ask the question of who just joined the call.
Zach, how the fuck? When the fuck did you show up?
I heard him joined like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fucking kill you!
Listen, I wanted to wait for you to finish. Like,
Oh, you like that'd be like if you walked in behind me, then you like grab my nipples and rip them off from when I was sitting in my chair.
Zap. It's been a really long time. I miss you. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing alright, Dutch.
Fuck you, Zap. I hate you. I hate you.
I've been doing good too. I'm moving into college tomorrow.
Oh shit! Congrats.
Congratulations. See what you want. I get to add you to
probably-
the stream. I add you to the stream, Zappy Pappy.
Okay. Hello, everybody. It's me, the guy from Gabriel's video. I just opened a coffee and started drinking it, like, while you were talking about that. I don't know if anyone heard I don't know if anybody heard the fucking of it opening.
I thought it was someone else just piss. There, now you're on the
No, I-
stream. Now you're there with everyone. Isn't it so cute?
Oh my god, it's me. Look, oh my god, I'm really excited. Whoa. Shaking around.
So we were just pissing in Valve's ear for a little bit. Let's get back to the questions.
So wait, they dropped support for the Steam Deck. That's what I'm getting from this.
No, they're gonna drop support for it in like a year.
Oh, I figured you were talking about like Stadia or some shit.
Oh, the Google Stadia. No, that was just a complete miserable failure.
Well, yeah, it was like the fucking. It was like the Jsoull or whatever the fuck.
Thank.
I bought like one game on Stadia.
No, oh my god. No. Thank God it failed. Because it would have set a precedent for a streaming-only gaming future. Where you don't own anything.
Well, yeah, because not only is streaming games like really ineffective and relies a lot on internet connection.
You don't own your game.
Like in single player, but like it also means that they could potentially like, because net neutrality's gone, they could potentially throttle the connection and have you pay more to have the game run better, like that.
Even worse than that. I mean, Jesus.
But anyways, yeah, questions.
There's a lot of Valve questions because of what we were talking about. Yeah, Dachi was talking a lot about it. And yeah, Sandbox was... Okay, one last thing. Sandbox, which is basically it's being marketed as like Gary's Mod 2, worked on by Gary Newman. That was being made in like Unity for a while, and then they moved to Unreal for a couple of years, and then when Source 2 came out, they moved it to that. And I remember that it took like right now they're just working on making the engine like do anything they want. Because like again, the Source 2 engine isn't
essentially
done.
turning it into an SDK.
Basically, that's what they're doing. They're just trying to make Source 2 into Unity so it can actually function like a proper modern game engine.
I mean, they're trying to go for like modability over everything else. So I guess it's like if it's essentially like a custom version of an engine, they could make people add in whatever the fuck they want, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, have you seen those guys that are remaking like TF2 and Source 2?
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's pretty cool.
That looks awesome, and what's amazing is that like all they really did was port the game to it. Like they didn't actually update anything, and it already looks that good.
Except like the only thing they have to do is they have to essentially rebuild all the weapon mechanics from scratch, because this was made for Half-Life Alyx, not for anything else.
They can make the Sandman not suck ass now. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Dude, apparently they, you know how like the Sandman slows enemies now, right? When did that update was like a decade ago or something? I vividly
yeah, it was a while ago.
It was a while ago. I vividly remember when it used to stun them in place.
Yeah, they had its own animation of them just like standing there, frozen. Like
well,
when you snap someone with the Huntsman time.
Yeah, and it was really satisfying to use it, but now it just makes them like just walk like they shat themselves for a few seconds and then go back to normal.
Just go heavy and use the Natasha.
Yeah, it's like it really it's just everything else is better. Now it's the problem with the Sandman.
Yeah.
Mr. Sandman, give me a dream.
People are actually using the Rap Assassin because the ball is better.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. It's like it made an irrelevant weapon relevant by fucking making something worse than it.
Yeah.
Flawless balance.
Questions.
I think we should move on to questions. Let's get this gaming shit out of our system with one more game-related question, since Zapchon's here, so he can answer this one too with us. Question is from Retard Richard. What that's his username.
Shout out to
Richard.
my boy Retard Richard.
What type of games do you mainly play in your free time and overall? Other than MC, which I would assume is probably Project Nexus.
I play a lot of Barrow Trauma. I do game sessions on Saturdays with my buddies, Darksignal. He's cool. We have like another team.
Oh, you play Barrow Trauma. Never mind.
I play a team of
Barrow
some
Trauma.
other dudes, other madness people. We have fun.
I mean, as for me, I've had a massive like hyperfixation with the Borderlands series recently. Like I've just been playing through that series non-stop. I've already done every single quest, including the side ones in Wonderlands 3 and Borderlands 2. And I'm on the last one that I own that is pre-sequel at the moment. And, I could say that 2 or 3 is the best one, depending on your preferences, but Wonderlands you can skip. It's kind of dog shit.
Isn't it full like magic and rainbows?
Well, it is. It's like it's only fun if you really liked Borderlands 3 is the problem, because otherwise it's just an inferior version of that. Like, the art is cool in Wonderlands, but that's about all it's got going for it.
Other than that, it's a piece of gonorrhea.
Sorta, yeah, like, there's also a whole lot of, like, I hate using the word because of how often people overuse it, but, like, there's a lot of, like, agenda-y stuff in it.
Or like, is there a scene where you have to? Is there a scene where you have to castrate someone?
More than Borderlands 3?
Way more. There's literally a part where, like, there's a gay marriage in a side quest and you have to kill people with pitchforks running at them.
Oh my god.
Wow. Okay.
That's
And
pretty.
it's just, it's like, I'm all for gay marriage, but that's a little on the nose.
It's so on the nose to the point where it's just like.
This is what they think of us.
It's like, okay, you know, I'm here to I'm here to kill, like,
This is
wizards
what
and
they
shit.
think of protesters.
My goodness.
Anyways, that, you know, that's a fucking hornet's nest, so I'm not gonna go too much into it.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
I've not played the first game yet, and I'm thinking about it just because, like, it's the only one I've not tried. Apparently it's good, but, like, you know, 2 just sort of outclassed it in every way, which is good for a sequel, but it's like, if you've never played the first one, there's not much going for it. So that's it. That's my hyperfixation at the moment. Darksignal, what are you playing at the moment besides Barotrauma?
Anyone that anyone's asking me to play, and that would be either Barotrauma, Deep Rock Galactic. Jsoull tried getting me into XCOM 2, but Steam is stonewalling me with disk write errors.
Fuck Steam.
I like Steam. It makes showers very nice.
Steam sexually harasses people and gets away with it.
That's Activision.
Oh yeah, they also rape people. You know how it is.
I am not.
Electronic Arts.
I am not totally upset at the setback because I did get the entire collection for 75% off, which is half the price of the base game.
Not bad, Darky Farky.
So, you know, if that ever gets working again, which it won't.
I bet it will, and Darkson is going to play a game where you shoot someone point blank with a shotgun and it misses because. I can't play
And that was by
XCOM 2.
your suggestion.
I can't play XCOM 2 without the mod that makes it so within like 1 or 2 tiles it's always a guaranteed hit. I don't know how people play without it. I'm sorry.
I mean, I got XCOM 2 for free because, like, on Epic Launcher it was free for a minute.
1 minute.
I claimed it and then I never played it because I don't play those types of games.
I mean, it's on my, like, you know, if you're bored, want to try something new sort of list. I mean, that's about the only thing the Epic Launcher is good for, is getting free shit.
Yeah, just growing your backlog infinitely of games you know you won't play.
Yeah.
For me, my games have been. I'm finally coming out of my like Yakuza fixation hole. All right, I finished like the base games, and I can't play the Japanese spin-offs because they're in Japanese, and I don't have enough patience for a game guide. And I finished Judgment and Lost Judgment, and I have like the Fist of the North Star game to finish, but there's a lot of shit to do in there. But as for what I'm playing now, I got a couple of new games. I've been playing through Valheim a little. I've been playing TF2 again, actually.
Oh yeah, they're finally sort of doing shit with that, maybe.
Well, I don't know. I just started playing again, and it feels good now. I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order. Oh, and I got like the Devil May Cry HD collection, and I've been slowly going through that. I'm almost done with DMC 1. So I have that new series. I have that entire series to play because of one song. I want to play Devil May Cry because of Bury the Light from DMC 5.
I knew it was gonna be Bury the Light.
Dude, it's so good. All right, I could just sit there and listen to it all day. It's awesome.
I mean, like, it's a baller choice. Like, I need to finish the Devil May Cry series as well. I only got like I've seen some of the crazy fucking combos you can do in the later games, and I want to get to that point.
Yeah, me too. That's why DMC 1's feeling a little sluggish for me.
I mean, I still like DMC 1.
DMC 1's good. It's fun.
I heard DMC 2 has problems.
DMC 2 is kind of funny. But it's like, I haven't been playing my DMC games enough because I'm library sharing with like a friend called Robo, and he's already into DMC 4 through my library, and I haven't even gotten there yet.
Ew.
But yeah, I just want to get to Devil May Cry 5 and hear that song.
Devil May Cry 6, the final tier.
Devil May Cry 6, the devil indeed did not cry.
I remember, like when the 5th one came out, people went ape shit. Like, was there a big gap between the 4th and the 5th one? I never actually knew.
There was.
I don't know, but I know that people went apeshit.
Next question.
Ridavir is asking if, as an inspiring/learning animator from Madnet, if our server is open for those willing to learn how to animate. And the answer to that is no, because it is a work server primarily focused on the movie.
Yeah, what are you, crazy? We don't just let people in. It's just where we work on shit, and that's kind
I'm
of
not
it.
even in it yet.
I'm certain there are servers that are more dedicated to helping those that are willing to learn.
X-Tile used to be a good option, but then Cree blew his brains out, so not anymore. Like
Maybe you should try to, why don't you... Maybe you should, like, try and expand your horizons a little bit and join, like, actual animating servers, right? Not, like, primarily Madness. I'm sure there's things out there like that, and I'm pretty sure... Because, you know, Madness, at its base, it's, like, puppet animation. It's not, like, you know, hand-drawn frame by frame. And I'm pretty sure if there's animation servers out there, they could probably help you with all that stuff as well.
Yeah, what are you, crazy? Like, what, are you out of your mind?
You mad?
You mad?
See, he gets it. Thank you. Glad somebody appreciates my awesome humor.
Sexual appreciation.
You mad, bro?
Stop laughing!
Okay, but for context, he's just like... He's just like posting a picture of fucking troll face. You mad, bro?
Hold on, that.
Oh.
Mad, bro.
Spit the Squid, I love your comment. That's very accurate. I have to make the movie. I have to make the movie. Next question.
Ross J. Scott.
Next. Next.
Is there... Who's reading the questions here?
I don't know.
I mean, most of these aren't even questions right now.
I
Alvag
mean-
is asking how many people are working on Max 2.
From 30 minutes ago.
At least like a dozen people. I mean, counting people who aren't even in the server, probably, yeah. Bunch of wacky stuff. Interesting. There had to have been a bunch of questions where we're on that giant rant. You can't tell me there weren't.
Yes, some of them.
There was a few. There's
Red-
another one
Red Hank
from
is
Red
at-
Hank.
Red Hank is asking why you keep using Flash.
Because I'm an abuse victim.
Yeah, just like James Lee.
Because he's already in too deep. He's already got all of these resources that he can't port anywhere else. He might as well just ride it out.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to like try porting all those resources into another program at this point, it'd end up like Jailbreak 2.
Oh yeah, that ended great, didn't it?
What happened with Jailbreak 2?
People tried redoing the entire sprite library, and it took so long that everyone got demotivated.
Jesus.
Or I mean, that's one of the things that happened anyway.
I know certain other things.
Sean
that I will
Kef
not talk
Archer
about.
Perino is asking if you're going to release one song from Max 2 of Madness Day, knowing who your latest musician is.
No. Because I don't want people to fucking go to his house and rip his dick out. He's up to the task, though. Maybe more so than Fleetwire was.
Whoa.
I'm very confident in his abilities.
Shit. Well, I mean, it'll be cool to hear it. I mean, cause like some of the tracks that Cryono made were actually pretty good. So I mean, if this is gonna be like, if this is like a tier above that, I'm actually pretty hyped to hear it.
You'll shit your pants, and Crinkles is
This
gonna
stuff-
start pissing blood.
I better
The
profusely
new
do it.
musician stuff sounds pretty good.
A quick question from Liquid, and this is a creative one. How would you feel if you were a clone of your brother, but with all of his regressive genes and he was better at you than everything? In parentheses, I'm not projecting in case you're wondering.
I guess maybe kill yourself. I don't know. Steal the good genes back from him. Stick a needle into his brainstem. Just take them back.
That's right, kids. If you're inferior to any of your family members, you should kill yourself. Advice from Jsoull.
Kill yourself.
Now!
Kill yourself now.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, don't actually do it.
Painted
was
Hen
a-
is asking.
Go on.
Painted Hen is asking if Crackpot mentions boom tokens being used in the Nexus Tower. Would the Nexus Core use some sort of planned economy with rations outside the tower?
That's a question for you, Dark.
It
Unless he's talking about the fucking Megaplex Tower.
might go both ways.
In Max 2, there's just regular currency that people are given so they can have their own little fucking playhouse economy. Like Monopoly money.
I'm just imagining like a fucking cryptocurrency in the Madness universe called crack coins, like from Crackpot.
Jeb coin.
God coins.
Boon coin.
Coin.
I think crack coins got a ring to it.
It's sick piss. It's revolting. It's insulting.
There was a question from Red Hank roughly 30 minutes ago
Right.
for Jsoull specifically. If you had a choice, who would you think is the strongest OC?
I guess besides Abaddon.
I guess the main character from Mandatory Madness, he's pretty tough.
That is true. I can vouch for Tabernac.
Tabernac's one of the strongest. He has reality warping powers.
It's like, you know, like when he worked with Grinshank at the end of that collab, like, you know, he was the one taking the lead. Like, Crank was just the sidekick.
I mean, it's true. Don't believe me? Zap's the guy that
It's
made
like, I didn't make fucking
it. You
Mandatory
made
Madness.
no, you made Fringe Hank, dummy.
Oh, well, yeah. Fucking, you know, it's like if, I'm pretty sure if, like, a regular Hank were to show off and challenge Tabernac, he'd just be like, just done. He'd be out of there. I mean, that's like, it's just, he's a bit overpowered, honestly.
Goes.
Prime 117 is wondering who Ammo is. Was wondering who Ammo is about an hour ago.
Agency against malevolent originals. They're my faction that are made to kill everyone. Oh. They're really cool, crazy cyber cultists. They're based on the remnants of the AHW after what happens in MC10. And they have a lot of fun toys up their sleeves. I gotta grab a snack. I want Dark and Cheese to gather the unanswered questions from the middle of our rant, and we'll go through those when I get back.
I'm already been going through them.
Well, I'll be back in a couple minutes. If there's any questions that can be asked and answered by just you guys, do it. Hurry, before it's too late.
Alright.
Okay, well, this next one by Lemon Matrix Studios is asking, if Victor was canon, how would the timeline change? And would his personality be like SpongeBob because he was once a fry cook? Disregarding the latter half of that question, I mean, you know who Victor is, right?
I don't.
I do not.
Victor is a miscellaneous character from Project Nexus that you can play as if you have remote play working, if somehow you manage to get that monstrosity functional.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Finally, someone who gets it.
So Victor was, for those of you who don't know who Victor was basically an employee of a restaurant chain in Nexus City called Gil's Diner. He used to work for someone famous named Burger Gill, and he is basically a golem who was feeding Nexus City. He's real dedicated to his work, and Victor was one of his top employees. He made Employee of the Month after they realized that Rich wasn't even working for them. So, Victor had to pack up and leave once the fall happened and Burger Gill became Zed Gill, and they were going to make him Burger of the Month. So, Victor joined Sanford and Deimos when you play as them in the residential sector, but he doesn't really have any impact on the story aside from that.
That's some deep lore, I gotta say.
Burger lore.
Burger of the Month.
Oh my god, a burger of the month is just one that doesn't have rat shit put in it.
I mean, you see Gill's kitchen when you play the game. It's awful.
Hey, he's a zombie, not a barbarian.
In any case,
ranks at least 3 stars. Come on.
It's just a comment I saw on the fucking, like, the whoops. Like, when the fucking guy drops his anarchy symbol, he just goes, whoops. So it's just me saying, we're anarchists, not barbarians.
in any case, no, I don't think Victor would have much effect on the plot because he's just a survivor trying to get by in life after he ditched his old job working at Burger Gill's.
I love, like, how there's such intricate lore to, like, one-off, like, half-buck
One burger.
characters, like, throughout.
Well, that's what
all,
makes
like,
him. Well,
Madness.
that's what makes him so fun.
I know, but it's like I'm waiting for the day where like those fucking 2 grunts, like the one with the camera in fucking Madness 6, like when the train crashes into them.
I mean, you saw what happened to the 2 guys driving the Jeep. They became Sanford and Deimos.
Didn't those 2 grunt? They got fucking squashed flat.
But
Yeah.
that's Sanford and Deimos though. You see them in 5'5". Like they went through the floor. Basically, it was like
They
a
went through the what? They went through the train.
They died, but then
No,
they
no, I
lived.
mean like in fucking Madness 4, like the 2 guys in the, or was it 4? No, it was 5.
It was 5.
People in the Jeep, that was Sanford and Deimos. They go back and then a fucking dance club lands on them just like it's Ohio.
Yeah.
And then they wake up, the party's canceled, and they're stuck behind
When
enemy
they wake
lines.
up with like minimal injuries, it's as if like the Jeep had a roof on it.
Well, I think it's meant to be like the floor is just made of like really cheap shit or something, I don't know.
Maybe it was just balsa wood.
It's made of really cheap concrete.
Or
it's
they just,
cheek
you know,
clapping time.
they had their plot armor on.
What the hell happened?
Who the fuck is calling me from Egypt?
What?
Don't
I
put
got
that.
bro, it's fucking Tutankhamun's coming after you.
Listen, dude, I'm getting a phone call right now, and the number starts with +20. I search up what is that code? It's the international direct dial phone call.
Dude, they're gonna
to
fucking
Egypt.
rape you with international fucking fees. You
What
don't
the
do that.
fuck they
The
want from me
Egyptian
from
police fucking
Egypt?
found you, Dachi, look out.
What did I do, bro? I only know like one Egyptian dude in my life, and he doesn't even know how to speak Egyptian.
You're gonna pay for traveling back in time and fucking Tutankhamun.
I'm sorry, bro. It was for a quick $20.
$20 in Egypt sounds about right.
$20 in Egypt.
All right, what'd I miss?
We
Nothing
just... people you don't care about.
much. Like me.
But we love you.
Bruh.
Like Zapchon.
Next question.
I already made the joke, it doesn't work.
We're out of questions.
You went through all the ones we missed.
Yes.
We did like one question. Was that all that was left?
We went through all of them and we got back on
We went
track.
to the old ones, and everyone was being nice in the audience by not asking questions.
I guess they're really enthralled by our source conversation.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh god. Alright, I'll ask a question then. Fucking Jsoull, is there any like upcoming games you're excited for? Because for me, I've got like none at the moment.
Fuck, I'm looking forward to Scorn, even though it's been delayed like 100 times.
I mean, I would have thought you'd say Armored Core, like the new one.
Depends. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Hmm.
Let's see how it goes. I think it might be pretty good. Armored Core 4 is one of my favorite mech games of all time, alongside MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries. We'll have to see where it all goes. I think Scorn can be a pretty fun experience, atmospheric, first-person horror.
Oh
Um,
shit, it's fucking QuakeCon at the moment, I didn't even know.
It's
QuakeCon? Holy shit.
Or, well, there's a QuakeCon sale. I didn't even fucking know. I just looked at
There's
the
a
store.
QuakeCon sale on Steam?
Yeah, so naturally
Let
Borderlands
me
is
see.
also on sale.
Oh,
What
literally
the fuck?
just came up. Ghostwire Tokyo is included in this?
Why the
Bethesda
fuck?
worked on it.
Is Ghostwire Tokyo like any good? I keep seeing that game
It
in my
looks nice.
recommendations everywhere, but like I've looked at gameplay and it looks kind of like the environments are pretty, but it looks kind of boring to play.
I feel like that's the gimmick.
Oh, well, I mean,
I
just fucking
don't
buy the
want to.
art book.
That's why I haven't bought it.
Just buy the art book then, Tom.
Actually,
Okay.
because I'm a nice person, I'll put on the Armored Core OST.
Oh boy.
QuakeCon sale. You can get Fallout Shelter for free.
Oh wait, there's a question in the chat I just saw. Fucking, well, I mean, they're asking Darksignal, but you know, you could say it's a question for all of us, and they're just saying like, what did we think of the Madness 4 Redux that came out? I'm assuming it means Crossfire's one.
I didn't even see it.
Is that like, do you mean that in like a negative way, or?
I just didn't see it.
Oh. I mean, it's.
Did you have your eyes open?
I didn't even know it was there.
I mean, it's there. It's worth watching at least once, I think. But I mean, wait, did anybody else see
Once
it?
and never again?
I think I saw it.
Okay, Jsoull saw it. Fucking. I mean, I thought it's kind of like Ghostwire Tokyo. The environments are pretty, but it's like I don't know. A lot of the action sort of felt like bad, but just sort of like inferior to the original. I mean, especially like the big scene at the end where he's on the dance floor and kills all of them, and then there's the fucking zombies part.
Zombie mode,
It's-
go.
Well, yeah, but it's like I don't know. It just felt a little weaker, and like the pacing was sort of slower. And it's like, you know, again, like it's not bad. It's just like if you're comparing it to the original Madness 4, it's a little like off-putting.
Off-putting.
Or not off-putting, that's the wrong fucking word. Just a little underwhelming.
It's one of the worst things you've seen in your life. I understand.
Oh no, it wasn't bad. Like I think next Goose scenes were pretty fucking cool. Like with his action. Like, there's
He's
one
done
part
good
where-
stuff.
Yeah, like there's one part where Hank fucking slides down like a stair rail. And it looks pretty cool.
Who doesn't like rails, am I right?
Yeah. And also, again, like the backgrounds are top tier. Like that, I would say that it's definitely done better, even accounting for like time difference. There's my professional review for an internet cartoon.
Sexually professional. Prushal's asking a question that I'm pretty sure I already answered.
Yes, I just mentioned it.
Yeah, I already talked about like how they got what they did with the mercs and all.
Mr. Sandeater is wondering if any one of us have heard of the game called Atomic Heart.
Yes. Oh, I am
Yes.
looking forward to that. Yeah, but that got delayed a whole bunch too because Russia's getting carpet nuked. So.
I have not
Oh, and the
played
new
Atomic Heart.
Stalker. Shit.
I'm interested in the new Stalker, but I gotta play the first 3 games.
Okay, I completely forgot about Stalker 2. Yes, I'm excited for that one. Holy
That one's
fuck.
also on hold because of Russia.
Well, yeah, it's
Ukraine.
like it's on hold for so long that I like forgot it existed. But it's it looks pretty fucking cool. It's nice to see like a new Stalker game finally.
I'm waiting for Yakuza 8, but
You're still making them?
they're still making them. Yakuza 8's coming out. It's gonna be like Yakuza 7. It's gonna be turn-based, and I don't like that. But because it's Yakuza, I'm getting it anyways.
Then they make it turn-based as like a meme, but then they actually people like want
Yeah,
it.
it was like an April Fool's joke, and people actually received it good. And now Yakuza is cursed to be turn-based. And Judgment, which is like the spin-off series set in the same universe, that one's the beat 'em up now. Except the problem is Judgment may not continue anymore because of like issues with the acting agency.
Also, to fucking Cycris Squid in the chat. If you're looking for a game like Postal 1 and the like surrealness aspect, I'd recommend Cruelty Squad.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. Cruelty Squad's great.
Postal 1!
It's like it's not gonna be the same as Postal. Like the gameplay is still different, but in terms of like just I guess sort of like surreal but like consistent vibe. I think Cruelty Squad is probably the closest thing you're gonna get.
They put like a bunch of assets in a blender and then they called it a game.
Yeah, I mean, and to the point where it's like,
I
it
mean,
just-
shit, you can trade fish on the stock market, so.
That's a little fishy.
I gotta get that game actually, sometime.
Red
Which is
Hank
it right
keeps
now on
asking
Steam?
really bizarre, nonsensical questions, including,
Oh, fuck.
Jsoull, I got a question. Are you aware of the ships?
Maybe Will Christie changed his name.
Shout out to my boy Will Christie.
Fuck Will Christie. I don't want to see him anymore.
As like honestly, like as time goes on, I'm just starting to suspect that was just a troll account, just because of how fucking like just the way it talked and the
What do
fact
you
that
think-
it followed me here to this fucking stream.
What do you think Kree's after you?
Oh, Kree. I think it kind of seems like the sort of thing Sin would do. Not gonna lie.
Speaking of which, Zapchon, Prussel is asking for your opinion on the taste of rusty nails.
Rusty nails. Can't say I've tried them. Recommend or?
I would.
What are your sources?
The guy
I
made...
made it the fuck up!
No, I was gonna say the one guy I made eat a rusty nail and chew on it until he bled and died of sepsis and infection.
Koreans.
Yeah, some Koreans, you know how it is.
Secret the Squid questioned how come there isn't a Unity version of Gmod, and that's because Source already takes care of the modding factor better than Unity ever could in a million years.
Yeah, like
Trying to mod for Unity is like Payday 2 without a drill, and you just have a crowbar or duct tape.
and ironically, Payday 2 has better modding capabilities too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god,
And that's on a fucking engine from 2001.
It's a racing game engine.
It is, and it makes me happy that Payday 3 is gonna be on Unreal. Like finally, it'll like actually play like a game.
I hope Payday 3 is more fun too. I got bored of Payday 2.
is
Like,
fun.
I got bored of it in like 80 hours. Like, I started cheating. That's how bored I got.
I mean, you need the like, you know, the special kind of like super autism that me and some other people share to enjoy the game a lot.
You also need patience for like going loud. I always did stealth because like, I mean, loud is fun, but like the AI is just fucking assholes on harder difficulties. They shoot you down like twice and you're gone. It's not fun.
Well, yeah, it's like, I mean, I will agree there. Like, it's either dodge build, and even then, it's not guaranteed that you know.
It's
You are
so
relying on
unbalanced.
energy.
It's so bad.
I mean, I think the game is enjoyable though.
It is very enjoyable.
It's like it's enjoyable for like, I guess it's kinds of people where it's like you want to have a. I don't know what the term is, but it's a game where like you have a character that you can just like keep building up like forever. So
Yeah.
Keep getting like stronger or like higher levels.
Minecraft?
I mean that is a limit though.
Craft
Like,
mine?
how strong you can get. Like, or well, I mean, it technically doesn't, but it's like you get to a point where it's like, oh, you have a little more of this block.
Jared says, okay guys, be honest, we're all pretty excited for Man NFL 23, right?
Oh, of course, man. Is you know, I fucking you know, I can't think
the
of anything
next
funny to say.
Madden,
Madden
the
sucks
next
so fucking much.
NBA, the next FIFA.
Like I couldn't even think of anything funny to say. Like game series is just so fucking mind.
Holy shit, Star Butterfly's here.
Wait, what? Wait, it's Star Butterflies in the chat.
Yeah, look.
Wait, I gotta see this shit. Hang on.
We missed you, Star.
It's like finding a freaking leprechaun at the end of
Spots
a
misses you too.
Holy fuck, Star Butterfly. How you been doing, my man?
We love you.
That's like, well, I mean, shit. I wasn't expecting that. The only thing that would
Okay.
make this better is if Darren Madness shows up next.
Okay, I'm confused.
Why?
Why are you confused? Say something.
What?
It's just confused, bro.
What Star Butterfly are we talking about?
Like the animator. He was in Jailbreak 1.
Oh, is that the one that did like the little side-to-side shuffle?
Yeah.
It's the iconic. All right, it's iconic, and I unironically think it was really funny, and I'm glad he made the part. Like, it's like I'm not trying to be mean with that. Like, I'm laughing with him on this. Okay, I'm not being mean. Like I unironically think that Star Butterfly is viewed as a cool person in my interactions.
Cool, huh? You can't talk about people being cool anymore.
All like 2 interactions I've had with them ever.
Jesus.
We're not talking about the character from the fucking Cartoon Network show or whatever, by the way, to clarify. Somebody with the same name as their alias online.
Now this brother's dead forever with no hope.
I miss Darren Madness.
De Groen Madnus. He shows up in
really-
Max 2.
His accent is really funny, and I wish he would come back.
He didn't want to be in Max 2, so I put him in Max 2, and he didn't want to be with X-Tau, so I'm putting him with X-Tau.
Yeah, see, Belgian Bias doesn't even know who Star Butterfly is either. Thinks he's part of the Wings Club.
Because I mean, these people probably like. I mean, it was like 2017 or something. I think it was when Star Butterfly did something last in the community. So, you know, these people probably like joined the community after Star Butterfly stopped doing stuff.
5 years ago.
Fuck, man. I mean, next year it'll be the 10th year I've had in this community.
I mean, what the
Joined all way
hell?
back in 2013, when I was like 11.
1 year old.
Might as well have been with the intelligence I had back then.
Extended P is wondering, how would I imagine the one's uniform on an actual person? Would it be like a black BDU or SFU? Well, my first instinct is to go with BDU because that's what I originally styled it as in the original sprites. As for SFU, I actually don't know what that looks like.
Use Google Darksignal, Jesus.
I did. All that's pulling up is Simon Fraser University.
Also, Lemon Matrix, I wouldn't know. I don't watch Star vs. the Forces of Evil, I'm sorry.
Isn't that for like little girls?
I don't fucking know. It's like I saw like 1 episode of it when I was younger, and that was it.
I mean, Jsoull, so is like My Little Pony, but then there's like 40-year-olds with neckbeards watching it.
40-year-olds with neckbeards watching anything, if you think about it.
Some things they should not be watching.
I'm sure there's like out there. There's gotta be at least one like 40-year-old neckbeard who fucking binges Dora the Explorer.
Oh, I was expecting you to say Madness Combat.
Well, no, that's the whole community.
That's the whole community. Everyone's a 40-year-old neckbeard, even if you're like 6.
If you're 10 years old, you're a 40-year-old neckbeard. I'm sorry to tell you.
I'm gonna have a little comedic scene here if I can animate it right.
What are you trying to do?
You'll see.
Jared wants our opinion on Power Wash Simulator.
I want it, but I don't want to pay $25 for it.
Why not power wash your actual house?
Are these made by the same people who make Goat Simulator or Surgeon Simulator?
No,
I don't think so.
different guys.
It's like if you like cleaning, but don't like cleaning in real life.
It's weird how it's weird how expansive this market has gotten for performing mundane tasks in a game. It's like, if you wouldn't want to do this in real life, why are you doing it in a...
Because you're crazy.
I don't know, maybe it's the satisfaction you get from it being like a game mechanic that you don't see in video games.
Yeah, but if it becomes the focus of it, like lawnmower simulators.
Shout out to my Viscera cleanup detail, boys.
Maybe it's,
Grass.
maybe it's for people who don't have lawns, like, you know, people who live in fucking shitholes like LA.
I guess it's
Grasscraft, mow like a pro.
I guess Viscera cleanup detail's a little different though, because like you generally aren't cleaning up like dead body parts in real life, so it's a little different.
You're not?
Well,
Having to pick up every single individual bullet casing with your hands instead of using a dustpan.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
so that you'll feel guilty next time you're playing fucking Postal or something, or Shadow Warrior.
The janitor. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta continue playing Shadow Warrior.
Oh, I've played through all of the games. Which one are you at right now?
Not the original one, but like the first Shadow
reboot.
Warrior. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's like.
I heard
either that
Shadow
or-
Warrior 3 fell flat on its face.
Well, no, 3 is still a good game. I recommend playing. It's just like I think one
as a
is
game,
still
but it
the
didn't go
best
like
out of it.
anywhere.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it's got a really fun gameplay loop. Like the only real problem with 3 is just that like some areas are stretched out a little bit, but it's like, you know, it's not really a deal breaker. I'd say it's a really fun game. Sort of, I think it has a better overall gameplay loop than the first game, which is pretty impressive because like it was. I'm explaining this horribly. Just like from best to worst, it goes like 3, 1, 2 for me.
1, 2,
It's
3.
like, well, the problem with 2 is just that they made it open world when it shouldn't have been open world. Kind of sucked.
For me, I don't know. For games, I like to play it at like the hardest difficulty for some godforsaken reason. And the worst part is I tend to not have fun when I'm doing that.
Then don't
Like
do
for
it.
Shadow Warrior, I think I hit it on the hardest or second hardest, and I'm just playing it like that. But you die in like 2 to 3 hits.
Then don't play it on the hardest difficulty.
But it's like I want to, because even though I'm not having fun, I am.
That's like, I'm pretty sure that's what we call Stockholm syndrome.
Liz, I probably get it from the fact that I played Doom and Doom Eternal on Nightmare, and then I finished Doom Eternal on Ultra Nightmare several times.
Well, I mean that's a bit different because like those are, I mean I consider that to be like, you know, close to the pinnacle of what harder difficulty should be. Like they did the higher difficulties really well. In,
Yeah, it's
like, the Doom
balanced.
game. But it's like, you know, there's not many games that do it as well as that. Like I would say like if you're not having fun doing it, just tone it down by like 1 notch or something.
I think that's what I did for like the little I played Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4, because they like force you to like hella grind if you put on the highest difficulties. So you just gotta tone it down to do like actual damage. Because I don't really care too much about like the RPG aspects of it. I just want to shoot things.
I mean, it just to me I prioritize just, you know, feeling like a badass when I play a game. You know, like if you're playing a boomer shooter, that's what you're doing it for. You want to feel like a badass.
I just don't want it to be like too hard.
Yeah, so it's like if you're dying in like 1 to 2 hits or something, and you have to keep fucking respawning, you're not gonna feel cool. You're gonna be like, okay, I just scraped my way through that.
I got that feeling from a lot of games I've been playing lately. Like, I recently tried to get back into Fallout New Vegas, and I went to a cave and I died because a rat bit my toe.
Just
I'm like,
real life. Just telling you to play rat mode. It's like just save every last bullet you can.
He's gonna duck back into this vent for a little bit until the coast is clear. There we go. He took a little peek, he didn't like what he saw, I was like, okay, I'm going back in.
Wait, what? Wait, you're going back in where?
You're not watching the stream because you have brain problems.
I do, but that's not the point. Oh wait, oh okay, that's what you meant with the fucking vent. I see. Yeah, he pokes his head out, he's like, oh boy, are there any losers up here? I sure hope there aren't any high-tech soldiers up here.
Bunch of bastards.
A wild
Swore.
Pokemon has appeared. Question for those who have played Armored Core: what OST do you feel is the best from each game?
4. 4 is my favorite OST, and my favorite song from the track is Panther. Panther or Overture, both are phenomenal. I don't think anyone else here has played Armored Core, so it's just gonna be on me. 4 is my favorite by far. I would spend hours and hours in the mech editor just prototyping all sorts of designs. I remember before that I played like some old mech customization flash games for like Gundam, I think. This is what you had to do before you figured out what Armored Core was. There we go. Now let me get a mask for this. Who likes masks? Do you like masks?
Yeah.
If you don't give me a good answer, your penis disappears.
I said yeah.
Penis disappearing time.
For everybody except me, because I'm the only one who answers.
I thought you were better than this, Zap. You never were.
You thought wrong.
Sorry, I opened Spider-Man and I turned off my brain.
Man spider?
It tends to happen when you use Marvel products.
Honestly.
It kills you, man. You want to know what Spider-Man did to all those kids, Elsa?
Oh, Spider-Man and Elsa?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. We should have like we should make a stream where all we do is just watch those videos.
No. That's how you get your YouTube channel deleted. Jesus, yeah, those were horrible. That traumatized a generation at the very least. Would you agree? Would you?
I think I think fucking modern content creators have ruined many childhoods. I was watching this video, right, and I think it was a video from like Critical or something, and he was going over this one fucking guy that all he does is he talks in like baby speak, and he talks about how, and he's like, oh, drinking this potion at 3 a.m. And then he said, like, you know, kids later are gonna look back at this and they're gonna be like, this was the shit, this is nostalgia for them. And to think about that is just fucking depressing.
Disturbing.
Hey, seeing as I'm not doing much, I gotta leave.
But Cheese, we want to kiss you.
Guess that can happen after the stream.
But can it happen before I wrap a fucking wire around your neck?
I don't know. Goodbye.
Seems like Cheese needs to be taught a lesson. In 16 hours, ShootDaCheese will die.
And that's unfortunate because he missed this. He's gonna miss this next question of what we think about tanks being in the Madness universe.
You go first, Dark.
I mean, I'm assuming the reason we haven't seen them is because treads are a bitch to animate. Because every individual tread is not something any animator wants to think about. They would rather just have it be just one big texture.
You can't really do that in Flash very efficiently.
You would have to keep it on like level ground if you want it to be the easiest.
But that's not even counting the fact that the turret on a tank can rotate, and you would have to animate every single angle you want it to rotate at. So no one's going to want to do that either.
I did it.
Well, you did it because you had CRISPR cheat for you.
Cheat. Also the fact that we made a tank with no treads, because it just hovers.
Which I think is god-awful.
Hover tank. You know what else hovers? Your ass over the toilet seat, Dachi.
How?
Because, you know when you go to a public bathroom and the toilet seat's warm, you don't want to sit on it?
Hoover Tank from the Atmospheric Reduction Center, you're on the air. Hey, Mutank, I don't have wheels. Whenever I fire my impulse gun, I skid out of control like a hockey puck. I need traction. Bad. Can you recommend a good cosmetic surgeon?
Darksignal talks to the voices in his head, a chronology.
The worms whisper and wiggle in between the folds and say things that haven't happened yet.
I'm disappointed in you, Hoover. There are no design flaws. You were built as you were meant to be. What you need to change is your attitude. Make the recoil factor work for you.
We have more questions.
Favorite Devolver published game?
Devolver Digital? Hotline Miami 1, definitely.
The Hotline Miamis are great.
I would say My Friend Pedro.
Oh, that one's a good game. But it's
If
short. Like, they dropped it, too.
I mean, that's if it was published by Devolver, I forget, but I think it was.
What game? Sorry?
My Friend
Pedro.
Oh, yeah.
It's that game, but if not that, then yeah, Hotline Miami.
Good thing you didn't say Hotline Miami 2 or else I'd kill you.
Dude, I was really hyped for My Friend Pedro, but it's like a one-time experience.
It is, but it's a really fucking awesome one-time experience.
It's
I can't
really
recommend that
fun.
game enough.
I think Devolve is pretty good overall. I mean, some fun games. Fun on a bun. Synthesis Chris says Hotline Miami 2 isn't bad. Eat lead. Well, who will be the protagonist in Max 2? That's an odd question to ask, Alvag666OMG. Wanna know who the protagonist is? Tell him, Dark!
There is none.
Yep. There is no protagonist. So, get fucked.
Now he's asking favorite Half-Life character.
Oh.
Hello, Gordon.
No!
Another day, another dollar.
Gordon Freeman, played by Ross Scott, is my favorite fucking Half-Life character. That's my answer. No one can do him better. He has the energy and charisma necessary to get through such a hellish situation.
Ivan the Space Biker.
Who doesn't love Ivan? Red
Power
Hank.
of hypnotic suggestion and a tank, I have convinced these people they were dead.
Red Hank asks, I got a question. If Hank ever met your OCOC, who'd would win in the fight?
Just Jsoull, something important real quick.
Your voice is insanely quiet, Zap. Like
So,
it's
sorry.
a quarter of
Sorry.
the volume it was before.
Just something pretty urgent has just come up. Like and I'll need to go like right now. I'm sorry about that. Just it's like it's family shit.
Families, huh? Who has a family anymore?
I don't know, but it's pretty fucking important. So just
Go,
I'm sorry.
go, save,
all right,
your, save your mother quickly
I'm just
before
letting
it's
you know.
too late.
All right.
I didn't even get to say bye.
Want to know what the secret is? Why that just happened?
Why?
I just set his mom's car on fire.
Amazing.
All the way from there, huh?
Hey, I've done way more long distance sabotage than that. I mean, how the fuck do you think I stay in good terms with the Koreans? Any Koreans in the
Look,
audience?
Gordon,
I'm
ropes.
sorry.
Look, Gordon, ropes. We can use help me, Gordon.
I fucking
Help me,
hate that
Gordon.
shit. I hate it. And then Darksignal got like a fucking mod for XCOM 2, where it's like fucking Dr. Kroomer. He just has these 20-minute long lines that overlap over each other.
Combined with Gordon Freeman's mind, no less.
Gordon Freeman's objectively funnier.
I like them both together. They were the only two characters that have survived the 3 missions of campaign I have done thus far. And I got a photo of them doing the epic handshake with the tagline, "Don't fuck with the science team."
I hate science. It allows people to fix the things that I do to them. That's why I hate it. Goodness. Hey Dachi,
Yeah.
you still have the old files from your fucking solo project from a while ago?
Oh my god. No, I think that's gone on the other hard drive that died.
All gone?
Yeah.
That's sad because it could have been things to save, you know? The whole world
I
could
mean,
have seen
listen,
it.
there were plans, but it was like I was approaching it with kind of like, I'll just do shit as I go, not like, I plan out a story and then I start
trying to work with it.
Max 2's like that, where I just kind of do shit as I
Well,
go.
True, but it's like, you know, I had like a very janky structure with mine, and I needed something a lot more clear to
For
make mine
consistent viewing
work. But you know,
experience.
so my character, it's only gonna show in Max 2, and I'm dumping him essentially there. It's like it's another guy with bandages and an eye patch and a trench coat, and you know he should stay there and die in Max 2. But you know, there's like this other guy, and if I ever feel like getting back into animation again, maybe I could do something with him.
Is it the guy with
And
the
I think-
missing testicle?
Yeah, he's objectively better. He's got like a sword, and he's blind. Instead of like, you know, bandages, trench coat, it's like something a little more original.
Congrats. Darksignal's not gonna like this next part.
What is it?
This is the part when he clenches his fist and starts giving me threats.
Yeah, you wish I would do that.
I'm tired.
Get shot.
Gordon, I'm thirsty.
I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I don't want that shit. Next up, I'm thinking it's gonna be an assassin with a shield, and this is the part where Dark's gonna start yelling. Because the shield doesn't do very well against the hand cannon. But see, this Rahi is a hand cannon. Gonna blow your ass all the way back to Jersey. I'd make it a Delta, but the Delta's knives would be fucking useless against the Orthos.
Just watch him bounce off. Tink,
Ching,
tink,
ching.
tink.
Gordon, I'm full.
God, it's horrible. I'll do the stream for like about 20-30 more minutes, and I gotta go eat fucking lunch with my family.
No, I haven't had breakfast, so I'm probably gonna eat something.
Why the
too.
fuck haven't you had breakfast?
I don't know. I didn't know what to eat, so I just ate nothing. I had like 2 glasses of water and called it a breakfast. But we have leftovers. I think we have leftover steak if my dad didn't eat it all, so I'm gonna have that.
Sean Kath Archer Perino is asking, where is the Madness Death Wish protagonist?
Oh, the guy with the T-face.
He shows up. Yeah, he shows up.
I
he's
love
gonna
that
be
man.
in the. He's gonna be in the Return to the Commercial Sector. He'll be alive for a bit. I love him. I
Are we
remember
gonna see
playing
the
that
other
game.
Death Wish guy? You know, the guy that was torturing him in the first Death Wish with
Blue
the blue
glasses?
glasses?
Probably.
Oh, that's good. He'll probably be the one that like fucking kills him anyways.
Jeez.
It's like you know, ammo comes in, right, to do their usual shit, but just as like a final thing, it's like, no, only I'm allowed to kill you. So the blue guy kills him before he gets offed by ammo.
It's bullshit. Dark, I need your input here.
Uh-oh.
So we have 2 brawlers so far and a technician, which is he's waiting in the vent for the coast to be clear to pop out. Who should come in through that door next? I'm thinking an assassin with a shield, maybe. I think an
That's what
assassin
you-
with a shield, and behind him will be a command, like an ammo agent.
That's what you suggested.
All right, I'll do that.
It's like, what other filler am I gonna throw in there that isn't just gonna get mauled?
Filler. That's mean, Dark. How could you say such things about me?
Because you would say the same things about me.
About filler?
Yes.
When have I talked about Jesus showing up and getting shot?
You would consider him filler too.
I don't think I would.
Although he doesn't even show up in this movie.
Except for as a statue. I'm gonna shuffle up there.
Death Trooper. Are those from Star Wars, or is that a Jinro thing? I forgot.
The Death Troopers were the guys from Star Wars Rogue One.
Oh yeah, they're like the Black Troopers, right?
Yep, the only good movie that has been produced by Disney in the Star Wars name.
Even then, Disney did their best to meddle and fuck with it.
Yeah, that reminds me of the
the guys from Jinro. I've had Jinro bookmarked for 4 years
Watch
on
the
my
fucking-
thing, and I
watch the fucking
haven't seen
movie.
it yet.
Watch it, asshole.
I want to watch it. I haven't seen it. But Jsoull, I gotta continue watching Better Call Saul. I haven't watched it that either.
Saul Better Call.
I'm in like season 5 or something, and it's already done. Like the finale played, and I gotta see it before everybody tells me everything, because I already know certain things that I shouldn't know. Not related to the finale, but still.
Oh no, Breaking Bad spoilers.
Guys, he breaks bad.
I'll break your butt.
No. Oh, that's a wall. Yeah. After this stream, I'm gonna unplug my PC probably and wipe it down a bit and get it ready for tomorrow.
It's covered in grease and oil.
It's not covered in grease and oil, it's just a fucking dusty mess.
Wait
But
a
the problem is, I don't like deep cleaning my computer. It's just, I think it's just too much and it's not really worth it. Especially when you can just give it like a quick wipe and be done with it. And I've been doing that for like forever, right? So, and my computer's never really been like underperforming, and it's been fine as is. It's probably a fucking fire hazard, but again, it's been like that for forever, so I'm fine. But yeah, my mom wants me to wipe it down for dust either way, so I'm gonna have to do that.
I have one of those air dusters. I used that a few days ago after I got back from the city, and there was so much dust, it was a thick cloud around the desk.
Oh, dude. You should have, like... I don't know if I have a picture of it, but I had to take off my fan because I wanted to, like... I for some reason, I had the itch to deep clean the fan, my CPU fan. And on the... I think it was on the heatsink. It was just like a 2 millimeter thick layer of just dust.
Goodness.
It was like a carpet. So I had to like take that off.
That's disgusting.
But yeah, I gotta do that and pack everything. So you know, I don't even have like I have like 3 or 4 hard drives in my PC like stacked on top of each other with no like drive dock.
How foolish could you be?
They're separated by like small pieces of like foam or something like that, like a specific foam. So it's good. It's just that I'll probably have to check that after I take it out at my dorm tomorrow.
Make sure your
so
mom
like
doesn't sprinkle in some sulfuric acid onto your motherboard.
No, not sulfuric acid. Just that, you know how like the hard drives have a little hole that say, "Oh yeah, don't cover this."
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty sure they're covered at the moment right now because I kicked my computer a lot by accident. I still gotta like rearrange it properly because you know with the car moving and everything, it's gonna move around.
Yeah.
I should also probably get a new main monitor because right now the monitor I'm using is like, it was given to me and it's like 15 years old or something like that.
What the hell, man?
It's like a thick HP monitor, but it's like 16 by 12, I think. It's 1920 by 1200. It's a widescreen, so it works. But like you can tell it's old because like this one, I have 2 screens, right? The second one is a smaller one given to me by my friend. And that one doesn't get hot at all, but this one, it's like a different screen completely. It just gets hot, you put your hand on it and it burns sometimes.
Hmm. Think about what choreography I want to do here. We need to make the second channel more recoil.
We got another question asking how it went making Jailbreak 1.
Fuck. It was hellish.
Nowhere near as bad as Paradox 2. What happened was I was recruited into the call lab at the time. Konami was running it. It was called Madness Cooperation. We did some decent progress, but I was doing a lot of the organization work. Like, I actually ended up making like a map of the prison and trying to like see like where people's scenes would start and where they'd intersect. And then one day Konami's like, I'm joining the stick figure community, bye. And then everyone's like, well, guess Jailbreak's over. And then started walking away. And then they felt a wire tighten around their necks. And I yanked them back. And we finished Jailbreak 1 just barely in time for Halloween. It was pretty rough though. We lost like 50 billion people. Grumpy was supposed to be making a part. Dasker, I think. Yeah, he was gonna do a scene, but that ended up getting cut because he didn't finish it in time. It was rough. Parody 2 was actual hell though. It was awful. Alright, any last questions? Send them now because I'm about to wrap it up because I need to go eat food.
Elvac was asking if you were going to release more music from Max 2 on Madness Day, but I think we already answered that one.
We did. I will be releasing some more media of Max 2 on Madness Day like I did last year though. More stuff from throughout the movie. I want to make it very clear, I'm very disappointed in myself that I'm not able to release something this year, but at the same time, I need to make sure this is absolutely the best thing ever made before it comes out. Because I never want to have any regrets, like, oh, I should have added that scene, or I should have fixed that. It has to be perfect. And for further clarification, it will not take anywhere near as long as other Big Madness projects have been. Next year is probably going to be it. Because in the span of the last year, I got past the halfway point. And it's just, this is the last room in medical. After this is commercial, then the throne, and then the finale where the ending is. The home stretch is in the horizon. And good work is being done by everyone on the team. Do you have any last inputs yourself, Dachi?
No, nothing much.
Nothing much. What about the Chinese guy that's gonna be your dorm mate?
He's not Chinese.
Who is he?
It's actually one of my friends, since we're going to the same college, so...
Well, you're lucky you don't have to hang up with some guy who's gonna fucking wrap a wire on your dick.
Yeah.
That stuff gets dangerous, man, let me tell you. It's dangerous. Alright. Like we're about done here. Got all the main questions.
I would say.
Had a great stream. Covered a lot of good bases. A lot of good questions. Showed off the good stuff. I'll be seeing you guys next month. I will be starting college next month. So I'm not sure when I'm going to be doing the stream. It's probably going to be on the weekend again. We'll have to see. I'm taking like full-time college courses and I also have my fucking job. We'll see where it goes. My current goal is to get to the throne by December. I'll see you guys and gals. Have a good time. Darksignal, Dachi, any last words?
No, not really. There's this one guy, he says before stream end, he's got like a question to ask or something. You think
Something
he
about
squeeze that in?
crossovers from Lemon Matrix Studios.
Well, what about crossovers?
Some Infernoli Studios said something. Wants to know something, I think.
What about crossovers?
Come on, guys, hurry it up. We're hungry.
God, I'm gonna I need to fucking eat food. I haven't ate all day, you fucking asshole. Dick monkey. Cock monkey. Say it! Okay, we're just gonna end it here. And you'll never be able to ask your question ever again. You'll live in eternal torment, and you'll never sleep.
write it down and save it for next month, man.
Yeah. Next one's probably gonna be on the 20th of next month. I'm trying to make a schedule of that, but shit, 20th next month is a Tuesday. I'm pretty sure I'm going to school then. We'll see where it
Well, you'll
goes.
figure it out.
Alrighty. I'll be seeing you guys. Have a good
Okay,
have a
bye.
good day. Bye bye.
Bye. It was